Look around you. Look at your hands, the room you are sitting in, and the device you are holding. Everything feels solid, absolute, and real. You move through your day assuming that your choices are your own, that the people around you are just like you, and that tomorrow is guaranteed. But if you peel back the surface of human knowledge, you run into an unsettling truth. The core pillars of your existence are built on questions, and that the absolute greatest minds in human history cannot answer. Socrates spent his final breath questioning it. Descartes doubted his own senses to find it. Einstein rewrote the laws of physics, yet ended up staring into the exact same blank void. Centuries of laboratory experiments, quantum research, and spiritual contemplation have brought us no closer to the truth. In fact, the deeper we look, the more the fabric of our reality begins to unravel. Today, we are stepping across the boundary of human knowledge. We are exploring 10 fundamental mysteries that do not have answers. These aren't just academic riddles, they are glitches in our understanding of what it means to be alive. By the end of this video, you might realize that the most important aspects of your life are the very things you can never logically solve. If you are ready to question the matrix of your daily life, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a like on this video. It helps support independent, deeply philosophical deep dives into the unknown. Let us begin. 1. The illusion of free will. Right now, you believe you made a conscious choice to click on this video. You feel like the author of your thoughts, your movements, and your life. But look closer. Every single action you take is the direct result of a prior cause. Your biological blueprint, your genetic code, your environmental conditioning, and the current chemical reactions in your brain dictate your next move seconds before you are even consciously aware of it. This matters because if you do not have free will, the entire human experience undergoes a radical shift. Our legal system collapses because a criminal was simply running a biological program. Morality becomes completely meaningless, and your deepest achievements are reduced to mere clockwork. Scientists can trace the exact neurons that fire when you make a decision, but they cannot find a free agent behind the controls. If every domino in your life was set up by the past, how can you ever claim to be free? Two, the ghost in the machine. You are aware right now. You don't just process light waves, you experience the brilliant blue of the sky. You don't just register acoustic vibrations, you feel the emotional weight of a sad song. This is consciousness, the subjective experience of being alive. Neuroscientists can point to where memories are stored and where emotions are processed, but they cannot explain why you actually experience them. Why aren't we just complex biological computers processing data in the dark? The brain is a physical organ made of gray matter and electrical signals, yet it creates a non-physical theater of the mind. It is the only thing in the universe that we use every second, but cannot physically locate. The machine cannot explain the ghost inside it. Marker 3, the cosmic void of meaning. We have an innate, desperate hunger for our lives to matter. We want our struggles, our triumphs, and our stories to mean something on a grand scale. But when we look out through our telescopes into the infinite expanse of space, the universe offers nothing but absolute, freezing silence. Science tells us that the universe is random. It is an accidental collection of exploding stars, dark matter, and drifting debris. In the vast timeline of cosmic history, the entire existence of humanity is less than a single blink of an eye. You are a temporary cluster of atoms that will eventually disperse back into the void. If the universe does not care about you, where does meaning come from? If we have to invent it ourselves to keep from despairing, is that meaning real, or is it just a comforting psychological survival mechanism? 4. The prison of solitude. You assume that the people around you are real. You assume that your friends, your family, and the strangers you pass on the street have an inner world just like yours. But think about it deeply. You can never actually prove it. You only have direct access to one mind, your own. For all you know, everyone else could be a philosophical zombie. They act conscious, they mimic pain, they smile, and they speak. But behind their eyes, there is absolutely nobody home. You are completely trapped inside the prison of your own perspective. If you can never truly bridge the gap between your mind and theirs, how can you ever justify how you treat them? But 5. The illusion of the timeline. You live your life trapped in the present moment, remembering a past that is gone, and anticipating a future that hasn't happened. You watch time flow like a river, dragging you older every single second. But modern physics tells us something completely counterintuitive. According to Einstein's relativity, the past, the present, and the future all exist simultaneously in a 4-dimensional block universe. Dinosaur roaming the Earth, your birth, and the death of our sun are all happening right now in the fabric of space-time. If science says the past is still there and the future already exists, why does our consciousness only experience it moving forward? Time might not be a property of the universe at all. It might just be a trick played by your brain, a construct designed to stop everything from happening to you all at once. 6. The deepest question of all. Why is there something instead of nothing? This is the most profound, frustrating dead end in human thought. Logic dictates that everything must come from something. The Earth came from the sun came from the nebula came from the Big Bang. But where did the singularity of the Big Bang come from? If you say it came from a vacuum fluctuation, where did the vacuum come from? If you say it came from a divine creator, where did the creator come from? No matter how far back you trace the chain of causality, you eventually hit a wall where logic shatters. Nothingness should be the default state of reality because it requires no explanation. Yet, we are surrounded by an infinite, roaring reality. Why existence exists at all is a riddle that may fundamentally sit beyond the capacity of the human brain to decode. 7. The architecture of the simulation. You see the world around you. You touch a physical object and feel its resistance. You believe the external world is real, but everything you perceive is just an electrical signal interpreted by your brain inside a dark bone fortress. How do you know you aren't a brain in a research lab being fed artificial electrical impulses? How do you know you aren't living inside a highly advanced, hyper-realistic simulation created by a future civilization? If the simulation is perfect, every test you run, every photon you measure, and every star you look at would just be lines of code designed to fool you. You can never use data from within the system to prove the system itself is real. Thurker 8. The inevitability of death. You are going to die. Every person you have ever loved, every leader you follow, and every memory you hold will eventually be erased. Biologists can explain the mechanical process of death, the shortening of telomeres, cellular senescence, and the accumulation of genetic errors. But they cannot explain why life is hardwired to fail. Why must complex biological systems inherently break down? Is death just an evolutionary trick to allow for adaptation? Or is it a fundamental law of thermodynamics built into the universe itself? We treat death as a tragedy, an anomaly to be cured by medicine, but it remains the absolute, unbroken rule of all living matter. We are completely powerless to stop it, and we have no idea what happens when the screen goes black. 9. The grounding of morality. You know that hurting an innocent person is wrong. You feel it deep in your bones. But where does that rule actually exist? If you look at the stars, there is no cosmic law written in light. If you dig into the earth, there is no physical element called justice. Is morality just a useful social contract we invented so we don't destroy each other? Is it just a biological trait hardwired into us by evolution to ensure our species survives? If morality is just evolution or social consensus, then it isn't objectively true. It means if a different society decides that cruelty is a virtue, they aren't factually wrong. They just have a different preference. Without an objective anchor, how can we ever justify our moral judgments? But 10. The mystery of the transcendent bond. We close our investigation with the most powerful human emotion, love. You love someone so deeply that you would instinctively give your own life to protect theirs. Biologists will tell you it's simple evolutionary chemistry, a cocktail of oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin designed to force pair bonding and protect the gene pool. But that reductionist answer completely fails to capture the raw power of the experience. Love forces us to act entirely against our own evolutionary survival instincts. It makes us sacrifice our comfort, our safety, and our lives for another. It defies pure logic, transcends basic biology, and cannot be calculated on a spreadsheet. If love is just a survival mechanism, why does it feel like the only thing that makes this entire chaotic existence worth living? Conclusion. Embracing the mystery. Before we finish, I want to hear from you right now. Drop a comment below. Which of these 10 questions keeps you awake at night? And do you think humanity will ever find the answer? Let's open up a reflective, honest space in the comments section below. I read and reply to as many as I can. What all these mysteries have in common is that they define the exact boundaries of our intelligence. Perhaps the reason we cannot answer them isn't because we aren't smart enough. Perhaps it is because the questions themselves are beautiful impossibilities. Some things are fundamentally unknowable, and maybe that is exactly how it is supposed to be. When you accept that reality cannot be fully solved, you finally begin to truly experience it. It is the burning desire to know, the search itself, that connects us to every philosopher, scientist, and dreamer who has ever walked the earth. Don't forget to like this video right now, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the matrix of reality, and click that notification bell so you never miss a video. The search for truth matters more than the destination. Stay curious, stay mindful, and I will see you all on the next journey into the unknown.